Welcome to The Debate. For centuries, the architecture of our lives relied on this pretty strict geographic binary.
Right, the place we sleep and the place we work.
Exactly. Crossing that office lobby meant you had mentally and physically arrived at work. But today, well, that threshold is completely gone.
It really is.
Yeah. And so the question is this the ultimate evolution of how we work? Or have we accidentally destroyed the psychological boundaries that actually keep us sane?
Which is a massive question.
It is. So I argue that untethering from the physical office is a massive leap forward for individual efficiency and, cognitive focus.
And I take the opposing view. I argue that abandoning the shared physical environment critically undermines lateral thinking, and it destroys that vital psychological separation between our personal and professional identities.
Well, let's look at the mechanics of deep focused work first. The modern open-plan office is essentially a neurological disaster for sustained attention.
A disaster.
Honestly, yes. You are constantly subjected to these micro-interruptions. By contrast, asynchronous remote work allows employees to curate their environments. They can actually achieve a true flow state.
Well, sure, you've got a flow state, but
we aren't just saving time on commutes, right? We are giving people the autonomy to match their work to their natural cognitive rhythms.
I see why you emphasize individual focus there, but I come at it from a different way. You're isolating productivity as if a company is just, a collection of individuals working in vacuums.
I wouldn't call them vacuums.
But organizations rely on what I'd call a localized brain. It's the cross-pollination of ideas that happens when, say, an engineer accidentally overhears a marketing conversation in the hallway.
Right, the classic water cooler effect.
Exactly. That friction sparks lateral thinking. When everyone is siloed in their own highly curated, perfectly quiet living rooms, you systematically engineer out serendipity.
That's an interesting point, though. I would frame it differently. I don't think we haven't engineered out serendipity at all. We've just moved it into a digital nervous system.
A digital nervous system?
Yeah. Platforms like Slack or virtual whiteboards like Miro, they don't just mimic physical spaces, they actually improve them.
I'm not so sure about that.
Well, they function as this globally distributed network that democratizes collaboration. You aren't relying on who speaks the loudest in a physical room anymore.
Okay, but
you are building living asynchronous documents where the best ideas win, completely regardless of time zones.
That is a compelling argument. But have you considered the intense cognitive load of that digital nervous system?
The cognitive load?
Yes. True, complex problem solving requires reading subtle behavioral cues, and that is fundamentally compromised when you're just staring at a grid of faces.
Zoom fatigue is definitely real.
Right, the neurological tax of constant, unnatural eye contact on video calls is immense. But beyond the mechanics of collaboration, there's a much darker paradox here.
Which is?
Context collapse.
Ah, you mean the blurring of spatial boundaries?
Exactly. When your office is your dining room table, the physical cues that trigger your brain to downregulate and relax are identical to the cues that trigger work-related stress.
That is a fair point.
The physical commute wasn't just travel. It was a psychological airlock. Without it, how do you truly switch off? Work just quietly creeps into every corner of our personal lives because that spatial off switch no longer exists.
Well, I'm not convinced that the loss of a commute automatically dooms us to endless burnout, but I will concede that the risk of context collapse is real.
Very real.
It demands a level of internal discipline that is incredibly taxing to maintain. We're essentially asking individuals to internally manufacture the boundaries that architecture used to provide automatically.
Right. And because relying solely on willpower is a recipe for exhaustion, we have to look at how we structure our week.
Okay.
If we need both the high bandwidth, messy human collision for complex problem solving and the insulated environment for deep execution, we need a physical anchor.
Which naturally leads to the hybrid model.
Yes.
A cadence of, say, 2 days in a centralized office and 3 days remote. It acknowledges that the localized brain is necessary for alignment and culture building, but respects the need for autonomous, deep work.
Precisely. It preserves that vital spatial airlock a few days a week, reminding our nervous systems that there is a definitive line between professional duty and personal sanctuary.
Ultimately, this debate highlights how profoundly physical space dictates our cognitive states and, our emotional well-being.
It really does.
We won't declare a definitive winner today, as the ideal equilibrium is something every listener will have to calibrate for their own lives and teams. But as we navigate this new paradigm, we leave you to ponder this. If the office is now everywhere, where exactly is home?